Love and light, ladies. This is Love, also known as the Self Love Guru, and I'm your confidence coach. Let me close my door, my office door, really quickly. Okay. All right. You can see the belly. It's getting pretty big, y'all. Hold on. It's getting pretty big. Hold on a second. Who is this? Yeah, I don't know who that was. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about dating with purpose. And I really feel like this is a great video to talk about today because some people don't date with a purpose and it shows. It shows in their outcomes, it shows in the men that they choose to entertain. It just shows. And a lot of people make the blanket statement like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. I'm seeing what's out there and all of that stuff. But like, why though? Like, really ask yourself, like, no, okay, what's the purpose? Are you really just going with the flow? Or are you saying that to avoid getting hurt? Because that doesn't work. And the thing that really does prevent you from getting hurt, believe it or not, I mean, in life, you can't really predict that, right? But what I mean by that is to avoid a lot of that predatory behavior, you have to go into situations knowing what you want and being very sure of yourself because men can't play with you if you're very sure of yourself. So I'll give you a prime example. I had my dating phase where I really genuinely was celibate and I was not even remotely interested in having sex with anyone. I wasn't just celibate because I didn't feel like anybody was worthy of my body. I was celibate because regardless of whether I see you as someone I could sleep with or not, I don't want to because I'm gathering information. And what I was doing was really learning more about myself. So I was choosing men that I could potentially date, right? That I could see a future with and getting to know them and just learning more about myself in the process. And that was the best thing I had ever done for myself. Now, what did that look like when I was just going with the flow and just meeting people and not really taking anything seriously? That's when you can fall into things that you're not necessarily bargained for. Because then, if your feelings do get involved with someone, because we're human, right? Not just that we're women, we're human, because men can catch feelings as well. However, when you're not being intentional about anything, you can fall into anything. Have y'all ever heard the saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything? It's kind of like what that's about. So, date with purpose. And that's what I wanted to cover today. So, the first thing is figure out what's your purpose of dating. Like, ask yourself, like, am I a rookie? Because some of you, I've mentioned this 1,000 times before, but there are a lot of women who watch my content or you watch other women's content and the stuff you're saying, like you think you agree with it, but you don't really agree with it because you've never been through some of the situations that they're talking about. So I've dated. I know that like I can't be with a broke man. I can't be with the man who doesn't provide for me. I can't be with the man who didn't desire marriage. I knew exactly what I wanted. So me listening to this type of content about hypergamy and relationships and motherhood and just being a woman, that resonates with me. You get what I'm saying? And not to say it doesn't resonate with you. Like maybe you watch these videos and that's who you aspire to be, but acknowledge that. I don't want you to go into situations playing yourself, feeling like, oh, okay, well, I've been watching Love and I've been watching Shira and I've been watching The Pink Book. And I feel like I have a good amount of knowledge to just jump into the dating world because these men will eat you alive if you don't know what you're doing. Like, and men are natural predators. And when I say predators, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, they hunt, literally. Men are hunters. That is how they were biologically designed. So they will eat you alive. If you're not careful, they can sense fear. They can sense insecurity. They can sense when you are saying that you want one thing, but they see that your behavior shows something different. So for you to say, oh, I'm not really looking for a relationship, but then you start with the clingy stuff. Oh, why didn't you call me today? I didn't get a text from you. When are we going out again? Like you start falling into a pattern of girlfriend behavior when you've already said, like, I'm not looking for anything serious. So what did you really mean? Right? And this is when men start playing games, because then it's like, oh yeah, she don't know what she wants. So however I want this to go is what's gonna go, right? So that's number one. Be real with yourself about what level you're at. Are you what I like to call intermediate? So that's that middle level, right? That's that level where you've dated a little bit, but you don't know all the ropes. And if you are that person, you need to go to hangingoutwithlove.com, order some books, order some webinars, like really get up on that knowledge and start practicing it as you're dating. And this will be easier for you because you're already dating. You don't have an issue with getting a guy and being consistent with him, right? Or are you a vet? Have you done that trial and error? Do you know exactly what you want going into a relationship? Is it easy for you to pick out the BS in a man and call it out if necessary, or just cut the person off if necessary, right? Like, are you on that level? So ask yourself what type of level you're at, and then also be able to educate yourself. That's the next thing. So if you're not on the level where you feel like you need to be, like, go get that knowledge. And when you're going to get the knowledge, even if you just watch the free videos, apply it. Like, tell yourself, okay, you know what, for this day, I watched this video on Sunday, and so I'm going to apply this technique. Or the video that I watched on Thursday from the Pink Book, I'm going to apply that on my date on Friday night, right? Like, start really making a game out of it and a practice out of it so that you can go into situations knowing what you want and being ahead of the game. You have a goal in your mind. So you're not thinking about, okay, well, is this person trying to play me, or do they like me? Like, when you have a goal on your mind, you just go on that date and you look good and you smile and you know, can answer some questions and you can ask some questions and be conversational. And you can also talk around things like, oh, well, I really haven't dated much recently, but I just had a few things to focus on and now I'm back out here. You know, like, be very confident about it. Don't say, like, oh, yeah, after my last relationship, I really just was not interested in dating guys. So I'm just getting back out there. You hear how different that sounds? Or if they say something like, why did your last relationship end? You know, he was a really sweet guy. Like, we had a lot of fun together. He was always teaching me new things and taking me new places. We just wanted two different things out of life in general, you know, and that happens sometimes. What about your last relationship? Boom, you've answered his question. And then you've turned it back on him compared to, oh, what happened in your last relationship? I was just tired of giving my all and then not being reciprocated. I really want to be with somebody who's going to reciprocate that same energy. Like, starting off with the negative, like, ma'am, keep that to yourself. Keep it to yourself. These men need to know everything that that man did right. Period. That's it. Just be very strategic about the information that you're giving out. Even if you feel like, because some people are like, oh, well, if I don't tell them everything, isn't it lying? All right, well, feel how you want to feel about it and keep getting your face played. Because I've seen it happen 1,000 times. 1,000 times from various women. So my next point, dating with purpose. If you find yourself deviating from your purpose, remind yourself of what your goal was in the beginning. So let's say, things got a little hot and heavy. You ain't give it up, but you almost did. Y'all was doing a little too much kissing, and then you had to be like, oh my God, I really need to get home. It's late. I have something really important to do tomorrow morning. I gotta kind of be up early, so I can't stay out. And then he tries to talk you in. No, this is really important to me, like really important. It's something I have to do for my family. And get serious. Like you can say it all flirty and stuff at first and see if he respects you and then get serious. Like, no, really, I gotta do this for my family. Boom. Like, do that, but make sure that you get yourself back on track. And then when you get home and you like, whoo, girl, that was a close one. Reevaluate, okay, what is it that I wanted? And don't be afraid, like that guy that you like a little too much, fall back from him. Fall back. And if you don't want to fall back and you feel like, you know what, no, I genuinely like this guy, I don't want to play myself, you can straight up tell him what you want and figure out if y'all are on the same page. Hey, you know what? We've been kicking it for a while. I really just want to know, like, where this is headed. Boom, balls in his court. You already have in your head what you want. This is very different than saying, oh, well, where do you want this relationship to go? And then just allowing them to answer and you going with their flow. Because if you want a relationship and he says, oh, yeah, I'm just kicking it, I'm kicking it with you and I like you. You're the only person I'm talking to, but I'm really not looking for a relationship. That's your answer. So you can walk away. But don't allow him to say something like that and then you be like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that too. And then start trying to pretend like you don't like him, but stay in his presence because you're going to slip up. So I hope this video helped. I feel like this was very cut and dry, but just date with purpose. Like make sure that you're very intentional. So number one, I said, know what level you're at. Do not play yourself. Number two, get all the knowledge that you need. Again, you can go to hangingoutwithlove.com. I got a lot of game up there. I got blogs. I have webinars. I have these YouTube videos, I have books, take advantage of them. And then the last thing you need to do is continuously remind yourself of what those goals are if you ever feel like you're getting off track from whatever that goal may be. Even if your goal is, okay, I'm dating to marry and I'm really looking for a spouse, like keep that in mind so that when you're dating and you meet that person where you're like, oh no, he's not husband material, cut him off because that lingering energy is going to prohibit you from getting what you actually want because now he's in the way, right? And really, it's you getting in your own way of what you want because you're accepting something that you don't want in lieu of it, right? So I love you, ladies. Again, I hope this helped. If you made it to the end of the video, please drop a white heart in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.